Hello and welcome. My name is Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. I did my best to crack up the players right before going live, and I think I won. So
You have to warn someone before you hit them with the fingering, Jason.
oh, actually, that was great. It was still, the transcript still had it there in the scroll back there when we changed screens. I was using that end of the video as a scene change cue. Yeah, there we go. So far, the Zoom transcript has been better quality than any other thing we've used. It's an experiment today, folks. Let me know what you think. The advantage is that it lists who's talking, and would be embedded as it goes on to, when we upload it to YouTube. The disadvantage is that it is not a, sort of fully ADA compliant closed caption because you can't switch it off. So, but none of the closed caption options have putting each person's name in there, and I haven't figured out how to do that. So,
I'm not seeing names coming up.
Well, that's because I'm the only one talking.
He's been monologuing.
Oh, there it is.
Also, the advantage so far of the Zoom captions, at least for me, is that it understands what I'm saying.
Yeah, right? It seems like a strong feature.
I mean, feature for some, bug for people who were amused at what
Clarity
the other
for
one
others.
thought.
Me, I'm people.
Joey, that's bold.
I'm playing a person.
Do Fae deserve rights? Never mind.
We will take them in exchange for small gifts.
Yeah. The Fae are not granted rights. Okay. So, welcome back, Joey. I'm contractually obligated to say. It's
in the writer
to have you back. Okay. Yeah.
Check. Done.
It's nice to see you back.
Let's go around and do introductions. Tell us who you are and a little bit about your character. Now that we're all back, I'm interested in a time before you were all a weave, but you were in your demigod life. Did anyone come to it super late or like somewhere in childhood?
Super late.
Pretty late. I mean, for a demigod, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Late.
What's like a normal age to go through demigod puberty?
Oh, well, I mean, normally, I mean, a lot of demigods are born and their mortal parent knows enough to be able to explain the basics, and then they're contacted by a messenger at some point, blah, blah, blah. Something else I was toying with, I think after you've done one ascendance move, I think I'm going to add in the book that I think then you can be summoned to your Pantheon's plane.
Oh no.
Not that you could go and visit whenever you want, but they have the ability to summon you at that point. But even that is a little risky, and they shouldn't do it all the time. So,
Shouldn't.
I reiterate.
Shouldn't.
Oh
Not
no.
Can't, but
I-
shouldn't.
Just noticed that my ascendance move is labeled the same as like a move I just have, so it's fine.
Does it actually call it the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not good. I should probably
We
also have
caught
these
that now.
PDFs open already. So the oh right, yeah, that's confusing. Okay, I'll have to change that. That's wild. Yeah,
Testing.
for folks listening, the Celestial has a move called Oracle, and that is also the name of the Ascendance move.
Which I have not used yet, but I do wonder what the difference is between those two abilities as well.
Well, one, you don't roll, you just win.
That's true.
So, I think actually the Ascendance move is what's going to get renamed because you have a lot more agency than an Oracle usually does in that moment. So,
It's more of a, become the weaver kind of situation at that point.
Okay, Greythay's mentioning the font is a little bit small on that. I can zoom this screen a little more. I can trim it down. But I do appreciate that. That's like the kind of feedback I want to get on this moment. If I like squish the scroll back a little bit, then we can zoom in the text a little. Because I know a lot of people watch on their mobile device, and that is a huge issue if the text is too small. But, you know, we do what we can. Yes, Gray they're using Otter.ai for captioning. Okay, so demigods can sort of go through their awakening at any moment. Some are, you know, little kids who can use powers. That's common in mythology. Some, you know, get it in those teenage times like a lot of superhero stories do. And others can be adopted late in life. You could be 60 years old and, you know, adopted by Thor because you had a cool night out drinking. You know, whatever. Thor's my dad now.
That would be so cool. And also very troublesome.
Am I supposed to have something else open here? I don't know. I did not properly prepare myself today because I was doing 15 different things at the same time.
That's a much better excuse than I have.
Well,
which is I stayed up all night playing a video game.
Oopsie.
And then Frida woke me up at 8.
Oh, yeah. I've been staying up late playing Wilder Myth lately and trying to go to bed on time. We streamed a little bit of it with Sam on Friday. And they liked it so much they streamed it on their own show Saturday morning. And I have to say I'm a big fan. It's made some strides in the good inclusive direction. It's not all the way there, but it's made more progress than any other game I've seen lately. So that's you know, hopefully we'll get there. Okay, so let's go around. We're going to intro and we're going to talk about not like the first time you used your powers and it was like a little out of control, but what I mean is I'd love you to say the first time your character used their abilities on purpose selfishly, like to get something that they wanted, right? And this is before you all knew each other, so this is pre-weave. Does the question make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
It feels like a leading question, but continue.
What? Oh, you've never done anything selfishly. I've never done anything wrong ever.
We know this and we love you.
Thank you. Money, please. Over at Ko-Fi.com. Sorry. Okay, Lee.
Oh, Lord.
Explain yourself.
I wish I could. So introduction and then answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool. I understood the assignment. Hi, I'm Joey. I wasn't here last week, so I can't wait to see what kind of shenanigans the group got into. I'm sure it wasn't anything terrible, because I wasn't there. Anyway, I am playing the arcane son of Ares, which is complicated for many reasons right now. And my moment of using my powers selfishly was, I think, okay, this is exactly what it was. It was in high school, and Lee was a very, very uptight, stressed out individual who was in every AP class because that's just who he was.
I'm just shocked.
I know. He used his powers of the arcane to ditch classes on one day because he realized he had gotten to school and hadn't printed out his term paper and needed to go home and print it out and come back. So he used his powers of the arcane to ditch a class, to go home and print out his homework so he could turn it in on time.
Yeah, okay.
And this is definitely not based on an actual event that happened in my real life, except it 100% is.
I'm so called out by this.
Yep.
Rude.
That is a whole situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I don't actually need to. There we go. Save layout. There we go. So, sorry, you left to go get something, and how was it you used your powers in this situation?
I cast a spell to effectively hide myself. Because one of my abilities for spell casting is I can hide something. So I basically use that ability to be able to sneak out of school.
Yeah. Okay.
And then get myself home quickly, print things out, sneak back in without being noticed.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder in our little chat. Joe, you do have a thread.
Yes, I did mark that.
And then we're going to do your time passes stuff when we're all caught up here.
Okay.
All right. Here's what I was looking for. Thank you for that follow. I heard the little alert go off a minute ago. Welcome to the OK Corral.
Wow.
Been trying to come up with something. Welcome to the Probably People. That one's better, but not a place. And I feel like if we're not a cult, I'm not gonna call. Okay.
Are we not a
We're
cult?
definitely not a cult. We're just not.
Are you sure?
Yep. Rosalinda. What are you all about?
I'm Minerva, and I'm playing Rosalinda Cruz, the Elemental Playbook, daughter of Influencer. And the first time I used the power selfishly, I hate to admit it, but I was really pressed for time to make it to post my scheduling on my usual post on time, and I kind of made my made a sculpture with my powers really quickly, and so that the light refracted nicely on the copper and steel alloy, and I made it rust a little bit so that I had that great texture, but I had to speed it up, so I kind of used it, but it got some great engagement.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Treyi.
Well, hello. I am Pooja and I'm playing Treyi, the warrior daughter of books. And the first time I used my powers selfishly, I was not really surprising anyone. I was out one night, I was at a bar or, party behind someone's house. Same thing, right? Same thing. And like you do, there was a lot of like axe throwing or like knife throwing and and people were just, there was this guy and he was being real rude and kind of like condescending about like skills of all the femme people there. And so I bet him that I could get a bullseye with a butter knife that's stuck in the piece of wood.
Okay.
And so I used my polyarmory to turn the butter knife into a lethal weapon.
Nice.
And in a massive amount of self-control, did not accidentally miss and stick him with the knife.
Our transcript is getting a little bit confused in that if I interject something, it just goes on with like, oh, this is probably still Jason talking and it's Pooja's story. So I might have to shut my mouth. That's weird.
That feels like a big ask.
Yeah.
It feels like a really big ask.
It's just weird that it would do that because it literally knows where the audio is coming from, right? Like that's an audio track in that I could separate out in if I was recording this. So that's weird.
Oh, we got that last line. It understood that was you.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the thing to watch out for is we may have some weird, like, not switching to the correct person's name right away when we switch conversation. So we'll just be aware of that going forward. So far, I really like the format of this, and I think it's better than what we had before. So, Stella.
Hello, I'm Clara, and I am not method acting. I'm just tired. I play Stella, the celestial daughter of Influencer, siblings to Rosalinda Cruz. This feels like I've never done anything wrong with my powers ever. That's never happened, not once in my entire life, and it's not the reason that I'm looking to figure out how to undemigod myself. That would be excellent. No, so I think I mentioned it a couple times in game. Stella went through demigod puberty at 16. That's what I'm calling it now. And it did not go well, going from being an insecure 16-year-old child star to being an insecure 16-year-old child star who now knows everyone's secrets. And the first time she on purpose used her abilities for her own benefit. Again, weird to say when you're 16, you don't really know what's good for you. There may or may not have been a co-star she was dating. And if you can read the history of everything you hold, you definitely don't need to go through someone's cell phone to see their texts.
Yeah.
So she may or may not have just like checked in on her partner at the time.
That's called a spy. You did a spy.
It is called a not okay thing.
Was that partner Simon Simmons?
That would be weird if it was, wouldn't it?
Well, that answers my question. Thank you.
Be super strange.
That would be super strange, and definitely not a thing that anyone should admit to doing.
Okay. But you did say Simon was a long ago ex, right? Like before, or it was like while you were doing the show together?
Simon was not a demigod when Stella and Simon dated.
Right.
However, that does not mean that they, again, that doesn't mean a lot. It means that
Stella wasn't a demigod.
Yeah, Stella was a demigod since 16, and she was on the same show. So
okay,
whenever Simon went through his demigod puberty, would have been afterwards because they couldn't work together.
Right. Yeah. He's definitely been a more recent recruit. So, okay, that's good to know. So last time we mostly actually had a bit of a chill sesh, because we didn't bring on a guest because there was a lot of fallout. We talked about our feelings. We also did some character sheet maintenance. So, Joey, let's catch you up on that regard.
Okay.
In the basic moves, there's a section called Start of Session, End of Session. And that is in the process of being updated to be when time passes type of thing. And so actually both of these things happen when time passes, and that's what's happening now. So the first step is to reflect on everything that just happened recently, like in the 40 hours of the first 6 sessions of it was less than a couple days, right? That we were doing all this. So reflecting on that and looking at your tangles on the back of your page.
Yes.
Do any of those feel more or less significant or complicated, or maybe even they're resolved and it doesn't seem like a thing anymore? Do any of them feel like they've, evolved?
The only one that feels like it might have evolved I'm not sure if it resolved or got tighter or looser, but having a grudging respect for Stella's skills, considering I basically had to move heaven and earth to do what she does on a normal basis.
Yeah.
So there's definitely more respect there for sure. So I think it changes from a grudging respect to like an absolute, that's terrifying. She's terrifying now.
Sure. Well, I mean,
she's always been terrifying. It just sucks less for you.
It could also be grudging in the sense that she can do something you can't do, or not easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is maybe comes with its own emotion. But to me, it sounds like you're saying that tangle is more important, even if you wanted to change the word from grudging.
Mm-hmm.
It feels tighter, do you think?
Yeah, it feels more significant for
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. So go ahead and put a T next to that tangle for it getting tighter. And then we need to now I think everybody else had this picked for them, so somebody's gonna have to pick for you actually. Who do you have the most tangles with?
That's actually with Stella. I have 2 for Stella.
Okay, Stella, which basic move do you want Lee to mark and get a thread the first time he fails at it?
Let me go see what he sucks at. You think I'm being a mean, but that's what we did to each other.
Oh no, I know. I just
And it makes perfect sense. It's just also hilarious.
Yeah, it's
It
like
is
what do we want to see these characters do?
Fail miserably. What
now I will point this out to you. I do have a -1 in metal,
you do?
but my payment for using my ascendance move, I now roll with Fate's disfavor when I try to sway mortals.
I was looking at awe because you do have a 0 in awe, which means none of us listen to you anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
let's-
and remember that it is I think what Joey was trying to point out is that it's the basic move that's marked, not the stat, in case something says like you can use judgment instead of prowess, right? If it's smite your enemies, it doesn't matter which stat you get to roll, it's still smite your enemies that you're checking. And so you may want to ask like, oh, do you use a different stat for smite your enemies, etc. Because it's not always the same.
However, in that way that I love trickster gods and I love stories about people having to eat crow. Anytime I think I want to see you try to sway someone again after that brilliant attempt to last game that I was not there for.
Oh, all right.
Also, because again, you roll as Fate's disfavor for that. Yes? No?
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Well, when
for
I'm
you.
trying to sway mortals.
Mortals. Oh, yeah. We're never going to run into mortals.
Right. Always wanted to make sure you weren't wanting to make me try to sway members of the party.
Oh, no. We already tried that. You failed.
Yeah, and we don't really. Well, I mean, you do sort of roll with PCs, but it's a different outcome.
Yeah, I actually have a fun ability I haven't used yet that involves mortals, and maybe we'll get to it this game. Who knows?
That's not ominous at all.
Curious. I'll send it in the Zoom chat.
Okay, now for the 3 of you who were here last week, we were able to confirm that Lee was safe and sound and doing what he needed to do. Can you give everyone a quick reminder of what you all got up to? And I do mean, can you?
Zoom was frozen for me.
Oh no.
So what happened last week?
Oh, I thought you were asking Joey to give a recap of what happened to him last week since he wasn't
not
here.
yet. No, we'll get to that.
My bad. We took a couple of days off to recoup and, be less extra. We failed at that last part, but we did recoup. And then Stella got us all together after a couple of days to go after Simon. And we found this club opening, and we knew he would be there because he couldn't possibly not be there. And the club was the worst.
Yep.
Ever.
Mile High Club.
The Mile High Club. It's a combination molecular gastronomy pub and oxygen bar. I got the bartender Chloe's digits while also getting us all drinks, and thus, heading off at least 4 fights. And
I was looking forward to that.
Rosalinda decided to get Simon's attention by starting a live stream. And Stella helped her, really turn that screw a little bit by tagging their show, which comes up with alerts on Simon's phone. So we know that he's got his that we've got. How weird. We know that we have Simon's attention because he messaged Stella. He slid right into her DMs, like she had never blocked him.
Yep.
And that I can say whatever I want right now.
I can't. Oh my gosh, it's so weird.
But in any case, he's like, come upstairs to the VIP section
Mm-hmm.
where the password was like cockpit,
Yep.
because of course it was. But before we could do that, Stella saw a ghost, and then she got like whisked away in that way that, like, when you look at old vaudeville things and they stick out a big hook and they catch somebody around
The
the
ghost
waist.
did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not Stella.
And she got like yanked back, like she wasn't supposed to be on stage yet. And so we all went to the bathroom, like you do, so that Stella could have a vision about it. And so she threw her really expensive under alcoholed drink on the floor so that she could scry into it. And some bad shit went down in the basement. And then it was like, okay, well, we're headed upstairs.
All right. Stella, do you want to say a little bit about the vision that you had?
Yeah, sorry, I'm struggling. Zoom has decided all I can do is be on the call. I can't type to anyone or mute myself, so I apologize.
We saw your gasp thing in chat. That part came through in the Zoom chat.
That was it. That's the last thing I was able to write. Like, it's completely frozen. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The important part is that I can't see that transcript either anymore. So the important part is that I can still do this part. So whatever. Anyway.
Just never need to mute yourself. It'll be fine.
Oh man, I abused that button though. Anyway, the most I've got from the vision so far, because we didn't really talk about it between, I thought we were going to go on that journey together, is that this used to be a speakeasy, and like the front was like gardening supplies, and then inside, if you the passcode, if you knew the password, which was cockpit, you could get into the speakeasy part of the establishment, and classic jazz age nonsense. That basement is probably really not up to code. I don't even know if it's still there. It might be filled in, but the ghosts still hang out there, so who knows? I guess we could find out what happens to that poor ghost.
Yep.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
So
I'm
all right.
Clara's gamer brain is like, we have 2 plot hooks. Which one do we follow?
So we'll pause there, and let's play some catch up. Let's get let's pan over to Lee. Lee, we had a great let's see, what do you call it? Montage of you with your dads and just getting around DC and relaxing. Now, also remind me, did you end that with 4 or more harm?
I ended it with 3 harm.
Okay. So then you don't need medical attention or magic or anything. You'll just heal up over the course of a few days. No biggie.
Hooray!
But you also, not that you generally have a direct connection to talking to Ares, your other dad, but you often can get impressions or mild guidance or something. Like, he's not supposed to, the deities aren't supposed to be influencing the world directly. That's why they have you, and they send messages. But the overall impression that you get is there's a lot less of his influence right now, because it really seems like you let him down. So that's just a back note that I think maybe doesn't bother Lee as much as it would have before.
Not even a little bit.
Okay.
At this point, like, leaving him on red, like, fuck off.
I love it. I love that very much. Now, I think we established it is fall, right? I think it was.
It was sort of
Maybe?
real time when we we
Yeah.
started, but then only 3
September-ish.
hours of game.
Okay, well that's fine. We'll just say it's still September, and it is typically pretty chilly in DC in September, but the day let's say like the third day after you arrive, the news reports are all talking about it. It's like gonna be 80 degrees tomorrow, and it's totally wild, and then it's gonna go back to normal autumn temperatures and weather, but there's just this weird heat front rolling through, and I don't know, your dads are kind of like, well, maybe we should take the day off from work, or well, they're probably retired, huh?
Well, no, one works at the Pentagon
Oh, right.
because they're ex-military, so one works at the Pentagon. The other one is a Peloton instructor.
Right. Okay, so Peloton dad
Yeah.
is trying to convince Pentagon dad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I hate you.
Yeah. Don't forget they're both named Barry.
Are they really?
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Oh my god.
Is it spelled
The
the same?
berries.
Yeah, of course it is. So Barry Spencer and Barry Fitzgerald.
I knew a couple in college, Jordan and Jordan, but it was a boy and a girl. But
The berries.
yeah, the berries.
Are they both bears?
The berries don't fall
No.
far from the tree.
One's played by John Barrowman, the other's played by Freddie Prinze Jr. So
Yeah.
Oh, not bears.
So there's no bears.
Nope.
No bears. Just berries.
All right. So,
oops, all berries.
yeah, I think that Peloton Dad has made a lot of inroads, and Pentagon Dad is gonna capitulate. Like, you've seen this happen so many times. Of like,
Oh yeah.
you have time off. You can request time off when there's not an emergency, and there's no emergency, right? Like, they'll call you if there's an emergency and we're not leaving the country or something. Let's just go out to the countryside for lunch and get out of the city for a bit. And oh yeah, I think they want to go on a cycle, a bike ride.
Yeah.
Because Peloton Dad's constantly trying to get Pentagon Dad. He's like, well, I don't like the stationary bike. It's just dumb sitting there going nowhere. It's like, okay, let's get bicycles. Which I just love the berries more and more that as I think about this.
Right.
Yeah, so they're planning a cycle. I think they have a bicycle for you at the house. Let's see. I'm also adjusting my picture frame here a little bit.
Of course they do, because they bought it when they bought the other two. Because it's a
Yes.
family. It's a family thing.
Yep.
So Lee.
And they all match.
Also, something that we decide as demigod characters is our parents at the time of, like having a spiritual adoption or siring a child together, something like that, in whatever method they're using, the parents have full and complete informed consent to move forward with that, because deities wouldn't act otherwise. So that's an important detail. But then mortal parents sometimes end up forgetting a lot of those details. Kind of like, I don't know if you watch Lock and Key or
I haven't
read
yet,
the
but I want to.
comics, but like as you get older, you forget about magic, and and then you could show an adult magic, and they're like, "What the?" And then just etch a sketch, and it's gone. So
Wait, because I can't ask in our chat. Wait, or is everyone else like adopted for demigods?
Nope.
I don't think so.
I am adopted.
Those are great questions to have on stream too. You don't have to put that in chat. Like,
Yeah.
this is just good back and forth questions that I'm sure.
I just don't like interrupting.
Well, you could wait for a pause in the conversation, I suppose.
That's not how that works. I have ADHD. I can't remember that long.
No, I frequently, when you all are having a scene, I'm like constantly taking notes of like shit that has to happen because of what you all said. So
Oh no.
that's fun for me.
is project management. Like,
Unfortunately, my notebook is in the other room, and I'm just going to tough it out until our break in 33 minutes. So,
Not that you're counting down or anything.
I do like regret not having it here. This is upsetting.
Oh God, say your incriminating stuff now then.
Okay, so the day is planned. Peloton Berry has set up a whole thing. They've got the saddlebags, they've got lunches and all kinds of stuff set out. And they're gonna hit the road and head for this state park that's out of the city a little ways and full of maple trees. I don't know what DC has.
Cherry.
Allegedly.
they can go biking to the waterfront because they are, well, actually, I don't remember if it's close enough to the waterfront. Never mind.
Not okay.
Baby.
So that's fine. Oh, there's a kitty.
Baby.
We're never gonna get to this game.
Yeah. Well, we're in it. We're in the game
We're
right
in
now.
it. We are in it.
Lee,
Yeah.
are you gonna go with them?
Yeah, I absolutely am. Because I don't want to show how much I need to be around people who understand me, but I need to be around people who understand me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So when you are kind of waking up in the morning, of course, Peloton Berry wants to leave at like 5 a.m. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think is too much of a stretch for Lee, having grown up military dads and, rigid schedules and that kind of stuff.
Oh, plus we've also established that Lee does go jogging every morning. Like, that's part of his routine. So,
So he's
not opposed
early
to him.
riser anyway.
Yeah. Well, how do you get everything done if you don't start early?
Yeah, exactly. Did your man hear you?
No, he's not in the house right now.
Because I know that this is also a real life conversation in Joey's house. So sorry to bust you.
Huh?
The morning of, right? You're waking up, you can hear the dad's kind of getting ready. Pentagon Dad is in his will not outwardly complain, right? And is just robotically doing all the things he's supposed to do to go on this, right? And it the blender turns on at exactly 5:05, and the smoothies are happening, there's all kinds of stuff. But the impression you get as you get up and kind of look out. What is this? The house you grew up in?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I like that.
Childhood home? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, yeah, out of your childhood window, there are a couple of problems. One, the sunrise is coming through your window. Your window neither faces east, nor is it time for the sun to come up at 5 a.m. in September. That's neither of those makes sense, but there's this that finger of God shaft of light in the moats of your room, kind of and kind of slowly moving down the wall, as maybe it takes you a second to go wait, the sunrise doesn't shoot. I'm on the south side of the house. What?
Yeah. There's definitely a moment where he's just kind of going through the motions and that's too bright. Close the curtains, walks away, stops, realizes, wait, no, that doesn't make any, and then runs back to the window and throws it open because obviously it can't be the sun. So now he needs to figure out what the hell this is.
Right. So out of the sun, well, as you look out, you can see on the horizon, it is, just this brilliantly golden light, just beam of light shining directly into your face. And there's no words or anything. You're just flooded with a sense of, just divine potency. And you are given a wordless invitation, as in and invitation's probably too soft a word. It is not a requirement, but it's like when the queen requests the pleasure of your company, you know, we go. But this is not from your dad, and it's not from anybody who really had, like, only your dad should boss you around, or maybe Zeus, right? Who is Ares' dad?
My dad, my dad's dad.
Yeah.
Your granddaddy?
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yep.
Also his boss, kinda.
Yeah.
It's a family business.
Nepotism.
So, yeah, or Hera. So if it's not Zeus, Hera, or Ares, nobody really can just completely tell you what to do. And the deities in general don't just order around demigods because demigods can get poached into other pantheons. Before you ascend, things can happen, and they don't want to lose all the time and effort and power that they've invested in their demigod children. So they try to be a little nice. So anyway, this beam of light is inviting you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna go. I want to at least see. I don't know. Maybe it's Auntie Athena trying to patch things up between me and Dad, and it's not gonna happen. But bless her for trying.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so you are just transported away, and I think some part of you is aware of like, this is a somewhat uncomfortable experience, and it would have been excruciating a couple weeks ago. Like, something is different about your form, your physical form, that has made this possible. And it's still not great, right? Like, it's a little burning, but you are not burning. So oh God, our Twitch chat today is just on fire. I love all of you so much.
I'm struggling not being able to use mute right now.
Yeah, I mean,
really struggling.
And I mean, Gray, they just always in there with the top-notch puns, but I wonder if their godfulating is just very good. Okay, so Joey, you are transported by this. You are going to take 1 harm.
Okay.
Which bypasses armor if you have any, but
I imagine so. Yeah, I have I do have epic armor.
Yeah.
But
okay.
That's fine.
And you, but otherwise it's essentially instantaneous. You have this moment of like, oh my God, is this forever? And then you realize, then it's over, right? You have that much time to think about it. And you are standing on like the golden steps of Olympus. It is as gaudy and pretentious and ridiculous as any depiction you can imagine. You are on a mountaintop above the clouds, and there's all these columns and domes and domed columns, and just where there didn't need to be any columns, there's it's just
columns for days.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff kind of just going on tangentially, but you can also see you're standing in a little sort of receiving courtyard that looks like it might be for the purpose of summonings. You're not in the grand hall where you would expect to see Zeus and Hera sitting. I imagine you've been given some images of what your home pantheon looks like, but you've never visited before. So
yeah.
The place you're standing on, these like great big almost white but gray flagstones, and there's just one man standing in front of you. Now, granted, he is 8 feet tall, perfectly golden bronze skin, and his eyes shine like the sun. But other than that, just a regular, kind of a, Zac Efron, beardy Zac Efron with the thick shoulders, you know.
Zaddy Zephron, as
Yeah.
he's more commonly known. Yeah.
Zaddy Efron. Sorry, I just got distracted by something in my mind. So, yeah, and I think, well, you tell me, would you be able to recognize members of the Pantheon instinctively, or what? How do you picture that for Lee?
I think he was kind of giving it a rundown by Zeus, not by Zeus, by Ares. And again, Lee is also well learned.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
true.
not
You
like,
would have seen the art and the
yeah, like
all of
it's
that.
not. He could suss it out. I think.
So, I think with a little bit of trouble, because he's always been depicted as the, beardless youth, quite not like a child, but a young man, right? But after a moment, you're like, who the fuck is this guy? You realize like it's a slightly grown up, modernized Apollo, and this may be the first time you're face to face. Aside from our messenger god, who you've met a couple times. His name just flew out of my head. Hermes. Wow. Okay.
Name flew out of your head.
Yeah.
Very good.
Also
Ah.
good. Aside from Hermes, I don't think you've met any gods face to face.
I think Hermes, Ares, and then Athena on occasion.
Oh,
rarely.
That's right. She would pop in or at least send a visage of some kind. And
Mechanical owl.
yes, very mechanical owl. I was just thinking about that.
Yes, forever mechanical owl. So Apollo is standing here kind of like with his arms crossed, in like fairly relaxed clothes. He's not in a toga, right? He's in kind of I would go almost like Patagonia-esque model, with the like a vest and whatever sort of outdoorsman kind of gear, and looks down at you because he's 8 feet tall, and says, "Well, Lee, how do you feel like that went?"
Sorry.
Oh, so that caught a little bit of attention, I'm assuming.
When anyone looks that far ahead, some of us notice things like that. It creates ripples. The knowledge that you have creates ripples. It's fortunate that knowledge is now of a future which is not currently on track. If somebody knew that much of the future, it would create a problem. But we don't currently have that problem. So mainly I just want to know how you feel that went.
Well, considering that the knowledge, as forbidden as it may have been, kept me from causing a great catastrophe from happening, I'm going to call it a wash.
A catastrophe caused by...
Frankly, caused by Ares.
Okay, so you get this eyebrow that goes up, and for being like kind of butchy bear, well, he's not really bear, but like there is a very like, I would like to hear the rest of this expression. And he gestures over, there's like a pavilion across impossibly rich green grass. Just a pavilion with an elaborately set out little, rectangular table, very comfortable looking chairs. There's, some satyrs and nymphs waiting with drinks and whatnot. And he nods and says, "Would you like to tell me the rest of it?"
More than anything, actually.
because I would appreciate your perspective. I know what you know, but I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So, Joey, can you give us kind of a meta narrative of how that conversation goes? Because he really is just listening. Like, he's not trying to drive the conversation at all. He will take a jab at Ares when he can, because he really thinks Ares is a fucking idiot, right? Like,
Yeah, well, we agree on something.
just utter blatant disregard. And is like, I don't, you're just sitting out here in the lawn. Like, you don't see any other deities around either. It would be pretty obvious. You can't even look this one in the eyes because it hurts, right?
Mhm.
Like, it's so bright looking at his face. But
Oh, right, because it's bright.
yeah. Yeah, so you really have to like focus on more like chest and arms and
I'll do my best.
So what is the meta narrative? What are you communicating to him about? Like, what he really wants to know is like some of the specific things that led up to needing to see that far in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's a little curious about how you did it, right? But he understands completely the timeline that you saw, right? Like that part, he's able to describe like a little bits of it to you. He's like, no, that's not important, right? Like that's one future that is not currently on track. So, what is your narrative?
Yeah. So Lee basically talks Apollo through his thought process on like, this is why I was studying ley lines. Basically, here is my hypothesis for what was going to happen. This is the steps I took to get there. I saw an opportunity to make my hypothesis true for these reasons in an effort to save, help humanity, save the world, all that fun stuff. And then explain to him that he was actually being played by Ares to create a giant war because Ares wants that, which is what caused him to do a full 180, pump the brakes, and flip Ares off in the process. And not do what Ares wanted, even though he thought he wasn't doing that already. It got very complicated. But every chance he gets, he is throwing so much ichor and
vitriol.
I can't think of the word. Yes. At Ares.
Okay.
You can say shade. That's fine.
I don't know if this is going to help. But when you, like, anytime you get a barb in about Ares specifically, there is like this pulse of like heat and like pleasure that is hard to describe. It's not sexual really, but it is just like, you had
it's the idea of this is so good it must be fattening.
Yes, yeah. The best bite of the best cake, whatever it is, it's substantial. Yeah. And it may even encourage, it's sort of that like dopamine loop, right? Of like, ooh, say shitty things about Ares, get the feel good. I know what to do now.
But I think it's also, Lee is picking up on that, I think, but it's also the fact that he's getting to talk. It's like, not that I ever do this ever, but it's like when you talk about someone with someone else who also knows them and shares that same opinion, and you get to finally get that release of like really getting to get into it and saying all the things you want to say, but you can never say because no one else knows who this person is, and you can't say it to their face because you have manners.
Right. And you could like vent to some friend who doesn't know what you're talking about, but it's not as satisfying as saying it to somebody who does know them and understands exactly what you're talking about.
Very that.
Yeah.
Very that. Clara, your face is killing me.
Joey, you're just giving people our relationship in a nutshell. You're just putting it on the table. Fine.
Just gonna put that out there for the entire internet to see.
I said I've never done this ever in my life.
Absolutely not. Never. There's no reason we call each other salt siblings.
All right. So, all right. I think that gives me a good idea of how that conversation goes. And towards the end of it, Apollo is I think drinking from some ridiculously intricate goblet, it's outrageous. But like takes a sip of that and says, well, I'm here to offer you an opportunity. It's been sanctioned by Zeus. I don't think Ares knows, and I don't really give a fuck. But Zeus and Hera know, and I'm here to offer you my patronship. Is that, hold on. Patronship? No. Patronage. In place of and subverting that of Ares. And that you would no longer owe him fealty of any kind because you would swear such to me specifically.
Are you kidding? This is everything I've ever wanted since I found out I was a demigod. Getting out from under his stupid, fat, grossly bloated thumb. Yes, absolutely. I'm tired of being manipulated by him and trying to get his agenda on the board when all it does is hurt people. Yes, please.
Okay. Now, I want to be clear about a few things. I also, like most of my kin, expect to be honored and followed. I also want to be clear that I am not the god of no war. I'm the god of fighting smarter, not harder. One of them. My sister also understands this.
Well, sure, there are reasons to fight, but the reason to fight should not just be to fight.
I agree. I just wanted to make sure that was clear based on some of what you expressed. So
yeah, if you look in history, there have been solid reasons to fight, but there are more than enough reasons that we shouldn't have fought, that we just fought to fight.
Very good. Now, you do have some hours to remain here if you would like. My sister has provided an automaton to take your place with your fathers today. So you're welcome to stay until they reach home or sunset in your realm, and the automaton will dismantle itself. So I'm gonna leave you with this, and there's like a little scroll. It's not like a joke long scroll, right? But there is a scroll that kind of lays out the agreement, and he leaves a quill and a pen, and he says, but I do want you to take a minute to think about it and walk around the grounds, but not up the steps, and relax. And I wouldn't go into the woods, but I'm not telling you can't. So make good choices, and I'll know either way. You can let yourself out by returning to the patio, and you'll just want to do so before. No, he doesn't even check anything. He just like blinks and then says exactly the time that the sun is going to go down in DC, and tells you to return home before then, because the automaton is going to fall apart and your dads might freak out. It's not like you're trapped or whatever, but like that would be awkward. He gets up, and or anything you want to say to him as he's sort of like getting himself together and leaving the table?
Thank you. I was feeling actually really trapped. So thank you for showing me a way out of the mess I kind of created.
Well, my way is not without mess. But
bites his tongue and doesn't say I know because he's read the myths, but bites his tongue.
But I think our goals are more closely aligned. So I'll leave you with that. Help yourself to anything here. The satyrs can bring more of whatever, And well, I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Go up the steps. What
Hmm.
said that?
So, Lee, now you're on your own.
Into the woods.
Go to the woods.
Into the
Go up the
woods.
steps.
You do have some options available to you.
Working on los dos.
Well, definitely not going up the steps like the
Okay.
voice in my head keep telling me to do.
Okay.
Steps.
I do want to go over to the contract and read it like Lee would read a contract
Mhm.
and make sure it's all on the up. Not that he has any reason not to trust Apollo, but also he's a god
Sure.
and them's tricksy.
Yeah. I assume Lee can read ancient Greek.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, you go over it, and it has the kind of binding language you would expect, but it is pretty clear that like he is sponsoring you and not trying to take on like a fatherly role.
Mm-hmm.
He's more like a work boss, but it's not like wanting to be your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good.
Or another dad. So you know,
That bench is getting a little crowded.
yeah. Okay. I just wanted to like
I appreciate
make
that,
sure that
yeah.
was clear for Lee.
Yeah.
But yeah. So but otherwise, yeah, it's, you know, he expects you to follow certain directives and to further his interests on the mortal plane until such time as you ascend, and then, you know, you'll be a deity yourself, and then this particular document will dissolve, and if you die or become a deity, and so then if you are stuck in the afterlife or here, then you can update any agreements from there. But you know, maybe
Yeah, I mean,
dads for Lee are like Pokemon.
literally what I was
Catch 'em
typing. Gotta
all.
catch them
Oh,
all.
nice.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, Lee's gonna, I think, take a big swig from his wine glass,
Mm.
kind of look up at the stairs, like almost he imagines that's where Ares is, probably on his Barker lounger playing,
Sure.
you know.
I mean, you could see in the distance a little bit of a you know, Parthenon type building,
Sure.
but it's fairly removed, or it's misted, or something, like it's hard to see it clearly.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking that general direction and kind of giving a last like sneering look to Ares, and then signs the scroll.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
When you do, it rolls itself up into a flash of light, and anything you want to do before you head back?
I think he's just gonna really just relax for a bit here, if for no other reason. Peloton Dad pushes really, really hard, but it's supposed to be just a nice, easy bike ride.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and
also,
he gets,
if you close your eyes and think about it, you can see through the automaton's eyes.
okay.
And you can see like, oh, okay, they're eating lunch now. It's going to be another 2 hours before they ride home.
Okay.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. I think Lee's gonna try to time coming back in as they're getting ready to ride home.
Yeah.
Because once Peloton Dad is eaten, he gets a little softer.
Sure.
And you know,
Same.
not as yeah. Not as pushy. Not he tends to lose that sharpness to his voice when he's training people. Like
Sure.
he becomes a human again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice. That's always a nice time.
Yeah. It's funny too, because you could sort of hear Automaton Lee like adding the little conversation fillers that you actually would normally say, right? Like it's a fairly good copy of you, and your dads are still like in this like, I shouldn't have taken today off. You never take a day off. I'm glad we did this today. Like, oh, I'm glad I came with you, but I still blah blah blah. But it's a whole
Bickering like an old married couple.
Yeah. So the idea that the Automaton Lee is able to just sort of provide minor commentary is helpful. But
I love it. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, let's leave that. We're just about ready to go to break. I know we started a little late, but I think I still want to stick the break at 3:30, just so we're consistent about something. Me, so I'm consistent about something. This is on me, everybody, just so you know.
You're fine.
But well, I mean, I don't feel super bad about it. I just want to be clear that it's nobody else's fault that we're late. So when we come back, there's a couple things we should put on our list, and we're gonna just kind of jump into the story. We're gonna have a quick little. Well, actually, one of the things that I talked about pre-show, I'm gonna put off because I want to jump back into your story. We'll get Lee into the Mile High Club and kind of.
Oh, so Apollo's coming back?
Well, I mean,
Your
like
boss.
2 of the
And your
satyrs
uncle.
and 1 of the fawns are definitely like openly hitting on Lee. Like that's, you know.
Yeah, that could be a good time. He needs to, unwind.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So that's a fade to black, and
Sure.
I want to just
Commercial
check in real quick with the folks in the bathroom at the Mile High Club, which I think is where we left you.
Yes.
All right.
Weird transition.
Stella has come out of her trance, right?
Oh man.
And Stella, how would you describe your emotional state?
So Stella feels fine, as fine as Stella's gonna feel, ever. So but she looks like shit. This is just part of the being a demigod sucks for Stella, is that when she uses her ability, her demigod power, especially when it takes her away, when it leans into her as an oracle, she starts taking on that aspect of herself. And I assume in like Delphi or in I cannot remember where the oracles in Norse mythology go, but but in those places they look cool and mystical and full of awe, and Stella just progressively looks more like shit. So like after in the show, like as you cut from the vision back to Stella, she looks like she's had a really hard night. She's been like, there's just mascara running down her face, lipstick is smudged. Don't remember if she was wearing lipstick before this. Now she is. Like full raccoon eyes, all the whole 9, missing a nail, like all of that stuff.
Can't believe he did that. I can't believe she said this. That whole conversation. Yeah.
Where's Kelly?
Where's Kelly? It'll fade. She'll go back to looking how because it's a demigod, just like side effect.
Sure.
But like that is her final form one day.
Yeah. I love
but
it.
yeah, so during that time she just sort of looks zoned out. She also sort of cries a lot. Like she is ugly crying in the bathroom when she's not here. Yeah. But yeah, that's sort of where she's at. And she comes back and she's fine, but she's like, oh, we should probably go upstairs. I'm gonna grab a paper towel and just like the paper towel dispenser.
What is Trey's immediate reaction to this?
I think it's something I've seen before.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm
but like something happened here specifically.
Yes. And she did say this place was full of ghosts. And I'm like, is this something we need to deal with?
I don't know.
Also, we might want to give it a minute.
Yeah.
Rosalinda, what's your status?
Also taking some of those paper towels. She also pre-packed some cute keychain napkins that she got as an influencer and just shove it and started wiping away Stella's makeup just a little bit, just to help clean her up, touch up her makeup. It's like, you're all smeared, sweet. Like it's this kid. I can fix this in a little bit, Hope. But
I like to think that Rosalinda has a full like makeup kit in her bag that she carries around with her at all times.
Yeah, I would have assumed.
Like it's a full on touch-up kit.
Yeah, like an organizing, whereas Stella has just as much makeup, but it's like loose in a tote.
Yeah, it's just loose in a purse.
Yeah.
She's got one specifically for Stella because this has happened before. And just like, okay, let's get that lip gloss. Let's fix the liner right there.
How did this happen? Why you weren't?
What did you do this time?
Feel free, Clara, if you'd rather shunt this suggestion. I love the idea that the raccoon eyes and like all of that is like what comes of her having a particularly compelling vision. You were suggesting that would just fade and go away. I kind of like the idea of that, like, you know, you being overcome by this and now this is a thing you have to deal with, is like you actually, like, your body has expressed this look and you actually have to deal with it or go out looking like it.
Yeah, I think in that case, like, yeah, no, she has to either redo her makeup or she's gonna just look like that now.
Okay.
It's like,
I love that. I love that
if the
idea.
gods came and were like, here, new outfit, fairy godmother style, except now you look like shit. Have fun.
So it's kind of just a strugmata.
I hate you.
Also,
your
Gray They.
Your fairy godmother is actually like a trash panda.
Yeah, my fairy godmother's a trash panda. Dionysus is my fairy godmother.
Gray They with the like mythic tear. If seeing visions makes her tear up, is she scrying?
I hate it.
It's absolutely
That's the
beautiful.
best one. So glorious.
I'm glad it's time for break because I'm gonna
so
have to
glad
sit
it's time
down
for break.
Whew.
in a different
to-
chair.
I need to stand up so I can sit back down
Yeah.
again.
All right, so we will be back in just a few minutes. I think we'll take 10. So we'll be back at 3:43 Pacific time, and we will see you then. Be right back. And welcome back. Hi, I'm Jason. The channel This Is Probably Okay. We're playing Demigods. I don't think I actually said that at the top today. You can find a quick start guide at demigodspbta.com. And if you tweet about it, let me know. Use hashtag demigodspbta. And I'd love to know how your games are going. I will maybe answer rules questions, but probably not. But not because I don't like you. It's because I don't believe in following the rules as written, which made it real hard to write a rule book. So
do what you want.
You just write the forward saying, like, look, these are mostly suggestions.
yeah.
Guidelines.
So anyway, we left off with the gals at the Mile High Club, kind of recovering themselves.
Bathroom.
Yeah. And by the way, this was several days from when Lee left, right? So it actually is perfectly fine timing wise to bring Lee in at this point. Now, how would Lee know, Rosalinda's live stream?
Mm-hmm.
How useful.
Literally
How useful.
got off. No, I portaled in. That's right. I don't fly planes anymore like a plebeian. I have portals now. So I portal in, like, I wonder what they're up to. Oh.
Well,
But do you portal into the bathroom?
well, probably not because it's an unfamiliar place, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you could,
Also, that seems weird.
yeah, you never, like, somebody could be in there.
Well, yeah.
We're in there.
No, but I mean like people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just agrees. Yeah.
Question:
People.
Has Rosalinda been streaming since they arrived? Like when they were out front?
Good question.
I want to say that we started streaming after we got our drinks.
Okay.
And I confirmed with Stella, you want to find this dude, your
Yeah.
ex, that I really don't know why you're doing this, but okay, I'm going to listen to you and do it for you anyway, because you're my sister and I love you. Okay. And then we did that. We did the grab, got the hashtags to push through. And then after we did like a parting shot of our drinks, I would like to say. And then we like, okay, we'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow morning, guys. Wink, wink. And turn off the stream.
Love it. Yep, I love everything about that. So this is good.
So
Damage.
I think Lee knows the history between Simon and Stella, because I'm sure Stella would have told the group. So I think seeing that all of that go down, he's probably going to send a message directly to Stella instead of to the group chat. Making good choices? Question mark.
Thought she was supposed to be the judgy one.
How? Yeah, hold on. Not your job. Like, you just get like,
I have a
You see-
+1 judgment.
you see the three, the dots, and then the dots stop,
He's all
and then
grown
the
up.
dots start again, and then the dots stop again. And there's just a gif of Lee's math face.
All right. So, Lee, if you want to portal in somewhere on Melrose that you do know, that's not too difficult to accomplish. And how do
Yeah,
you...
I will do that thing.
All right. I guess this actually begs the question, has Lee been to the Mile High Club on Melrose?
Absolutely not.
It just
Okay.
opened.
Yeah.
Well, this was
like
their
a-
like official grand opening. They would have had a soft opening with, special guests and stuff.
That's true.
So
friends and family.
yeah.
Gross.
Yep. So, all right, Lee, you portal in. It's a short walk. You manage to get to the door. There's a long line outside, but there's always that space behind the doorman where you can, make a case for why you should be able to just walk in.
Well, yeah, my friends are already in there.
Okay.
So I'm going to go in now. Because my friends, my friends are already in there, so I'm just going to go join them because that's what you do.
Grady, that's not too much. This is the rated R channel, and that is totally great.
I don't know why I'm liking Grey Day's puns today, and it may be my hangover.
All right, so Lee, you make your case to the doorman. He's I wouldn't have made you roll, except you're talking to a mortal.
Uh-huh.
So let's go ahead and roll sway someone.
Oh, good. Yep. Come on, fakes this favor. Son of a... Well, there was a 6 in there, but it doesn't count. That's a 4.
Okay.
Oh, there's that thread.
There's that thread.
Did you get doubles?
I did not get doubles, unfortunately.
Okay, you just get your fail thread.
I just got my failed thread.
Aw, see, I did you a favor.
Okay, so Lee, your what's your like social / nightlife like in LA?
Unless these other 3 are dragging him out, there isn't much of one.
Okay.
Because up to that point, he was so busy studying the ley lines and studying how magic worked in the city that was kind of his entire personality.
Mm-hmm.
So now he didn't really have much of a nightlife. He's not even really dressed for a club. He's kind of dressed sharply but comfortably, like not
Right.
not flashy.
Can Rosalinda help?
Well, hopefully, but you're still in the bathroom. We may get there. However, Lee, as you're talking to the doorman, and he's just looking. I mean, at least like 6 feet, or is he like 6'4"?
No, he's like 6 feet.
Okay.
Impossibly tall.
Uh-huh. The doorman is 6'4", and kind of looks down his shoulder and is like ready to tell you to F off, but there's a voice from inside, and you have like you just have this like very real flashback to one of the times your friends did drag you out on a night on the town, and you did have quite a bit to drink, and you did hook up with somebody who enjoyed your company. And in the morning, turned out to be somebody you did not get a lot, like you really never wanted to see again. Not because they're evil, but your personalities don't match. So let's go with, like, wild child, like CPA during the week, certified public accountant, and then just goes hog wild on, Friday, Saturday night. And
Like actually an accountant?
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's what Excel's for. It does a lot of the work for them.
Oh, never.
QuickBooks. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all just plugging
I'm
in
thinking about a
numbers
different kind of accountant. Never mind.
Oh, okay. I don't get the reference, but Lee, I think you genuinely hoped to never see this person again, and how would you? LA
Right.
is such a big city, right? But you're like trying to get the door guard to listen, and this person passes in front of the door. They're like, "Oh my God, Lee!" And they just come out and just kind of like shove the doorman to the side a little bit, not like literally shove, but like push past, drag you in by both hands, and the doorman just has nothing to do at that point because you're being pulled in by one of the co-owners of this club. Can you describe this person for us, who you were hoping to never meet again?
Yeah. Let's see, what's the best way?
Like somebody hot until you talk to them.
Right. No, very, very that. It's he. First of all, his name is Tag.
Yep, just TAG.
TAG.
Or
Yeah.
TAGH.
Tag
Yes.
like a watch. Like it's like
No,
it's like tag,
TAAG.
Oh, that's it. Yes.
Ag.
Oh, I forgot to grab my notebook. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Upsetting.
Yeah.
I just took psychic damage on that one. Clear psychic damage just spilled over.
Yeah. It's
To Ag.
he's real cute, real dumb.
I love those people who are cute until they open their mouth and you're like, oh.
Just
He's
almost
someone
horrible.
who is a lot of fun to be around until you realize, oh, that's the only color that comes in.
There's one
Oh,
volume
upsetting.
setting.
Yeah, like it's
Exactly.
easy to overdo it on that.
Right. Like
yeah.
we all, it's all about peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
And he's all peaks.
So friends who were here last week, was Simon one of the owners of this place? Like, why was he on the notice of being here?
No, he's just a producer and he likes to be.
Oh, he's an
places and
executive
things.
producer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. And so he was
vocal
invited because has some pull and. Okay, so we didn't talk about ownership of the club at all, right?
No.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Well, Tag is one of them. Finally living the dream. # follow your goals. # manifest your truth.
Cute.
And these are the things did you say he, him?
Yeah. Him.
He is literally saying to you. And like somehow turns around and be like, oh, that thing you told me was so good. I really appreciate that advice. And, I've tried to follow it a lot. He does not reference what it is or what this advice is, but kind of alludes to it with # manifest your dream, your truth. Lee, you have a vague memory that you implied to him, kind of as you were trying to disentangle the next morning and like go home, you implied to him that you wrote The Secret, or were like a ghostwriter on it, right? And somehow that's a thing that just latched onto Tag.
That is 100% accurate. I think that's because Lee has found that intelligence can be sexy sometimes, but a lot of times not so much. So he's kind of learned how to dumb it down a bit, and not dumb it down, but go in the right lanes of intelligence to.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely think that's one of his lines he might use is, oh yeah, that new self-help thing that I was consultant on that. Like I helped ghostwrite it. I helped do some of the editing.
Yeah.
And then when we got back to his place, I saw that he had a copy of it on the coffee table.
Yeah.
And had a mood board that was written in one of the chapters I did not write on it. Like it was like, oh dear, it was borderline like Misery-esque.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh no. Oh no. I need to not be here longer than I have to.
Okay. Yeah. This is good. So I am taking advantage of the original Something Bad Finds You. Y'all, that wasn't the ghost.
Was it this asshole?
I was like trying to figure out who the horrible owner was all this week, because I knew like that's what it was gonna be this whole time. And then with Lee's 6- just now, it like Sway Someone doesn't have a here's what happens on a 6-. It's just Harold, here's your list of moves. And so I just took Something Bad Finds You and made it worse.
Aw.
I think. Is that an accurate description of what I just did?
Probably.
Okay. Cool.
You'll be okay.
This is just a gauntlet of fuckboys. So let's go.
I mean, it is called the Mile High Club, and the VIP section is the cockpit. So,
Yeah, it's the Kobayashi Maru of clubs. No way we're winning this.
Oh my god.
At what cost?
The outcome is predetermined.
we didn't
I think
stop
you mean
to
the
ask if
Kobe
we
Ashimaru.
Nice.
Stella just looks
Too
at you
soon.
apropos of
Too
nothing.
soon.
The outcome is predetermined.
Nobody stopped to ask if we should. All right, so, yeah, Joey,
To
you
digress
are...
for a moment, it was. Did everyone see that photo?
What photo?
It was his birthday the other day, and he recreated the photo.
Who?
Drop of Water, Jurassic Park.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
Goldblum created the photo from Jurassic Park with the open black shirt thing. Like he did a whole thing.
Did?
Hold on.
And
Also-
it was solid. It was
Hold
very
on.
good.
I'm doing research for the game.
Also, Gray, again, maybe it's
Kobayashi
Stockholm
Maru.
syndrome at this point, but Brobayashi Maru is my new favorite phrase. I'm gonna say it forever now. Just
I can't. I feel bad that I didn't know it was my boyfriend's birthday yesterday.
Yeah, I just assumed you knew.
last
That's
week.
why I didn't bring
it
it
was
up.
last week.
It was last week. And
yeah.
thank you for helping me pull names that I've known for decades and literally just
The
forget
ether.
in the moment.
I can't find the recreated one. All right, I'll look for that later.
Yeah.
So, Lee,
Mm-hmm.
what is happening as Tag is he's trying to get everyone to call him Tag.
I was gonna go with the second A is silent.
Well, we wish all of the letters were silent, but they're not. He is dragging you into one of the corner booths and is waving over, like snaps his fingers to wave over one of the waitresses, and like is guiding you to his table, and he's like excitedly telling you some kind of story that I imagine you've mostly tuned out the frequency, but is just that super like bro enthusiasm of like, oh dude, and like bro enthusiasm like 4 or 5 drinks in. So if Stella is the drunk girl in the bathroom, this is the guy trying to play darts.
This is Truly the Halloween episode.
It's terrifying.
Um,
At least for Lee.
I'm glad I could
If Stella
deliver.
is the drunk girl in the bathroom, this is the guy who you've got like a 90-10 chance he's about to spike your drink.
Oh, gross. He did. Yeah, I
Oh.
mean, yes. If fortunately we don't have sexual assault in our game. That is for everyone's benefit.
Hell yes.
So, the booth looms, and before you know it, Lee, you are sitting down, kind of across from him in the booth. You're the only two in the booth for like 6 people, right? But he's like, you're both kind of sitting at the opening of the booth, right, where he can like lean in and elbows, and he's like making aggressive eye contact and is like just telling you about how everything came together and he was able to open this place, and it was like a miracle that he had just been picturing it for so long and nothing had happened, and now it's all happening. And so that's Lee right now. Well, that's happening too, Lee. What is Lee doing?
Lee is looking over, like making the eye contact and looking over his shoulder, like trying to see if he sees any of his friends. Also looking for an exit strategy because this is way too much people this close to my face.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you are in this situation where, like, this is the bro who will be so offended if you get up and walk away right now. Like, this could turn so quickly in that right now he's excited, but is holding you emotionally hostage. So you could get up and leave, but he will make a scene immediately.
Right, and Lee is trying to play under the radar after what happened last time he was in town. So he is going to kind of go into the that's cool. Well, you know what they say about Hollywood, it's where dreams come true.
Yep. So you just kind of like set a loop.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's starting to like, again, kind of scanning the crowd, trying to see where his friends might be. Let me look. I might have a thing about this.
Okay, well, with divine intellect, I am fine with you maintaining a low-level conversation, especially with somebody like Tag, and also like texting under the table or casting a spell subtly. If there's like a low-key spell that would be helpful. So
yeah, let's do a spell about it. That's what I want to do. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to do a spell about it. I would like two effects would be communicate and possibly. And
cast it quickly.
Yes, casting that.
Okay. Hopefully you'll get both of those.
Right. Costs casting longer than usual. And
well, don't take that one, because if you get both of your good things, then that can offset the cast quickly.
Yeah, then never mind. Let's go with draw unwanted attention.
Yeah, okay.
And
oh wait, doesn't all of your spell casting?
No, I did not choose that one.
Right.
That's one of the options I could take for Ascendance move, and I did not take that one.
Okay.
And if I had to pick a second cost.
I mean, probably not. I mean, how could you even fail this roll?
You know what? How dare you?
You gotta stop cursing us like that.
Why? Why would I do that?
Just because I'm trying to. Let's just go with something is hidden from you. I think that could be
Also-
interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
What a truly Lee move. His phone works just fine. We established you can text, but he's gonna do a spell about it.
Yes. Yeah, I appreciate that we're staying on brand.
He had a bit of a revelation. He has to change his,
And Eli in the chat makes an excellent point that at least Tag isn't in the I love you yet. He hasn't done any of the like, I thought you were going to text. Like, he hasn't brought up any of that yet. It feels like it's just like the next level behind It's like one shot later.
So you're saying I'm on a time crunch here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's an 8 on the dice plus 3 weird is an 11.
Okay, great. So you get to cast quickly and communicate impossibly. And do I pick the cost or do you? Because you still have to pay one of them. It doesn't say.
It does not say.
So then it's yours. Yeah, if it doesn't specify, it's your choice.
Then yeah, let's do something that's hidden from me.
Okay.
And the way I imagine the spell working is because I now have a new patron. I think there's a bit of a light, kind of playing with the lights that are going on in the club, but almost lights that are starting where we are and kind of snaking their way through the club, trying to find the other 3.
Oh, almost like a shadow shifting along, but it's like blots of light.
Exactly. So breadcrumbs that can either lead me to them or hopefully lead them to me.
Sure.
No, I don't think I'm getting out of this on my own anytime soon.
I think, you're distracted casting, like it's a successful check. I mean, don't worry about that. But like you have this like moment of horror as your perception is split, right? Like you're maintaining this conversation and then you're kind of slip sliding through the club. And then this moment of horror right before you slip under the door to the bathroom of like, I don't want to see. And you find yourself in the bathroom with Stella, Trey, and Rosalinda. And the 3 of you see this like Star Wars-esque hologram of Lee's face on the floor, right? Like sort of projected up in this like cone of what color light?
Let's go with a really,
because I assume the bathrooms are all purple with low light. Does that seem accurate? Or black walls? But
they're concrete. They're full on concrete.
Like painted concrete or just raw concrete?
Exposed.
I mean, it's sealed concrete, so because that otherwise would be a code violation.
Yeah,
but it's raw.
Okay, yes, that makes sense. Okay.
So I think it's like a turquoise light.
Okay, sure. Do you mean turquoise?
I said what I said.
Okay.
Canon for Stella at this point points at that, at whatever's happening, is we see this, right?
Yeah.
Why are you such a creeper?
I was trying to find
accurate.
you. I am in a bit of trouble. If someone could come rescue me, that'd be great.
Phones work. Phones work.
Are you here?
Rosalinda pounces on that hologram and opens the door to start following it like a cat.
Amazing. Okay, Rosalinda bursts out of the door, and
Where is it?
within moments, Rosalinda, you can see as all the way back on the other side of the club, like catty corner across all the little round tables and booths and stuff. It's the farthest corner booth from where the bathrooms are. It's also the farthest from the stairs that go up to the cockpit. But, and you see Lee and this other handsome man, who you actually recognize from the, there's like a photo kind of in the coat check area of like this guy and 2 other people who were, opening the place, like cut with a giant, like 3 people trying to get their hands on the giant scissors.
It's also like those 3 people feature in art all around the club.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the coat check with the grand opening thing. There's other like random ones scattered throughout.
Yeah, but they're all done as like,
bathrooms.
there's like an abstract, like Picasso version of one of them, but is clearly like they used the Picasso filter in Photoshop and then like did a giant print of it.
Now it's more like the Somebody I Used to Know music video.
I I don't
Yeah,
remember.
just a Star Wars that I used to know.
Minerva, the artist, takes psychic damage on this. It's like on the verge of her hurling around that. All right. So Rosalinda automatically takes Stella's hand and hoping that Stella takes Treyi's hand and starts power walking with her huge heels, making a beeline towards Lee because she
I have
feels
a
like
minus
she
one to prowess. I don't think I managed to grab anything on the way out or fight you on that.
Yeah, I think it might be Rosalinda heading out on her own. And we'll see what Treyi and Stella do with this information. In fact, Treyi, what are you doing?
I mean, I see Rosalinda march right out. I'm going to down the rest of my drink because obviously I need this.
Mm.
And I'm going to assume that Rosalinda put hers down while she was fixing Stella's makeup.
Yeah.
I'm going to down the rest of her drink.
Damn.
And I'm going to be like, oxygen shot. Forgot. And then go and follow her out.
You paid
And
for
I
it.
am going to grab Stella's hand with my two
Yeah.
prowess.
Okay, so you're going to try to like pull Stella to her feet and...
Oh God.
Like, come on.
Is Stella on like wobbly heels at this point? Like what did she wear out?
Oh shit. If she's gone full Oracle, yeah, the heel, whatever practical
They've
shoes she was
extended.
wearing,
Like the heel
the
is
shoes got worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Extra dangly earrings.
They're extended. The shoe has less support than it did before.
Yeah. What a fucking curse.
But more
Yeah.
sparkles. It doesn't have more
Yeah.
sparkles.
The fit is great.
Mhm.
It's pretty I mean, she was still dressed pretty chill, like clubby, so it's not that bad. But
Mhm.
like the heels are worse.
They went from chunky heel to stiletto real quick.
Yeah.
They went
Okay. So Treyi, you haul Stella to her feet, and the two of you go after Rosalinda, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Rosalinda's totally following the light. If it's leading him back to Lee, just like, oh, this is totally Lee's. It screams Lee.
Yes. Walk into
And-
the light.
Big eyes, just like, ooh, shiny.
Okay, so the thing that the audience sees for sure, and then I'm going to pick out how everybody interacts with this, is the server that Tag had called over. Tag has a whole conversation with her, with Lee just on automatic going, yeah, oh, sounds good. Wow. And, and so we get this like a little bit of back and forth. We can't hear what Tag is saying, but the server looking like stressed out for, serving one of the owners of the bar and, goes back to the bar properly. I should call the place is a lounge, right? It has a bar and seating and then the nice area. Let's see. Did we say what this bartender's name was?
Wasn't it Cindy?
One of them is Chloe.
Chloe.
That's the
Chloe is the
bartender.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this server who we haven't met yet, but they get to the bar, they tell Chloe and like points at whose it is, and Chloe's like kind of like rolls her eyes, but like Chloe is the sort of war vet of this scene. And whoever this server is like, please help me get through this, is the Private Ryan in this situation. Chloe is putting a bunch of drinks together, and the server is on her way back as Rosalinda comes out of the bathroom. Now, we, the audience, swing around behind the server and see the platter has 6 shots lined up with a lighter on the tray, and this server is making their way through the crowd. Something goes unnoticed, Lee, is that you have enthusiastically agreed to doing shots with Tag
Oh no.
again.
We've seen Lee do shots. He can't handle that.
Not very well. He's more of a Doc Brown when it comes to that. So,
Yeah, those shots were the reason I went home with Tag in the first place.
Oh, no.
Rosalinda,
Who's making good choices now?
Rosalinda, I think you're just genuinely excited to catch up to Lee because you haven't seen him in a week or so,
And
right?
I'm still kind of uncertain, but just very
Right,
happy to see him.
Because everything was so stressful when he left, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. But having an opportunity to resolve those feelings and talk and like, yeah, okay. That so that comes with some enthusiasm, I would.
Oh yeah.
I would say. All right,
Oh, yeah,
so Rosalinda, I'm going to have you roll metal, but keep in
Yes.
mind that Rosalinda doesn't know that she's rolling versus the server, right? Like this is just a universe challenge to see which happens first.
All right. I got +2. I'm gonna win. This is what's gonna happen.
There's no way you could go wrong.
Heck yeah, that is a 6 plus a 3. That's a 9 plus a 2. That's an 11.
Very good. Okay.
I win. What did I win?
Well, you win getting to the booth just a hair before the server does. Now, Trey and Stella, you're following her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're seeing Rosalinda, like get through the crowd, not like, excuse me, pardon me, like just
Old golden retriever mode.
yeah, just Rosalindaing it through the club. And Trey, I think you more than anyone, Stella's probably still a little out of it, but Trey is responsible enough not to split the party. Trey, you can see Rosalinda is going to get there before this server, but they're both kind of coming at an angle where they're probably not going to see each other right away, which maybe is fine. But you could tell they're headed for the same. Your like tactician's mind is like seeing the phalanx come together and how the defenses should go up and. I mean, it's not like you're perceiving an emergency, but you are seeing this convergence. And anything initially, Trey, before the next narrative?
I think I'm gonna like when I first see it before I, have gone through like, oh no, it's that pinpoint precision of like a car chase. It's a Fast and the Furious moment. And I'm like, I think you got it. But I am going to just call out for the server. Like, if I can see her name tag, I will call her by name to try to like pad that a little bit.
I don't think you could see the name tag from here, but I am open to let's see, what are your gifts again?
I have an epic melee weapon. I am Pantheon royalty, and I have a mentor.
Right.
Not sure how much Sensei's gonna.
No, but Pantheon royalty, I'm picturing Trey's version of royalty is like she's not the like grind people into dirt kind of royalty. Is that accurate? Like
that is accurate.
You would respect the people who work for you, and like because you would like if you lived in the Pantheon, you would have servants. Like that's just the position that you command in the Pantheon. But Trey is the kind of person who knows everyone's name and knows their family stories and is helping them out with stuff. And does that seem accurate?
Yeah, I feel like Trey, like I know everyone, and I've kind of like found out about people's stuff because they tell it to me, and I don't stop them from telling it to me, but I also have no idea how to respond to that.
Okay, so here's
your
option.
I help because I feel guilty.
Your option is to roll Bend Fate, having pushed your Pantheon royalty to like just have this person's name snap into your mind so you can call it out. Or we could roll Metal to have you just like rush ahead and try to get her attention visually or audibly, but that's going to be a much bigger to do.
I'm going to roll Bend Fate.
Okay. I like it.
Somebody wanted to see me do some weird. Well, So I'm gonna go ahead and take an advancement right now.
Oh, okay.
Because I rolled Snake Eyes.
Oh.
Which gives me that thread from the thing, and also
from Doubles.
Yeah, so
so I don't want you to lose out on that one. So just erase 4 of them, right? And we'll say that because you got them
that made 5.
Oh, the 2 of them made 5. Okay.
Also, 2 minus 1 is 1.
That's outstanding. First of all, what advancement are you taking before I tell you what the consequences are?
I am not prepared for this. So just give me the consequences and I'll figure it out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was really like, oh, I have a little bit of time, but apparently that was a lie.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes it can just jump ahead like that. But let us know as soon as you decide. But your voice, like, whip cracks to get this person's attention, but what comes out is server, which is just, like, I would like to consume the noise that just came out of my mouth, please. Like, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's completely so. I mean, Pooja, am taking more psychic damage.
I feel bad having described that. Like,
it's like,
and so the problem is you do get her attention, and you just get the dirtiest look that you've ever gotten from her. She kind of slows in her walk a little bit. She does turn to look at you, but Trey, I don't know if you can remember the last time you've been looked at with such disdain. Like, how would Trey take that?
It's just, you know what? I am so sorry. That's definitely not what I meant to say. I'm so sorry. That was shit. So sorry. Here's $100. Trust. I'm sorry.
Well, I think $100 is pretty effective in that situation.
It doesn't. I mean, yes, definitely, but also to me, it feels very much like you just said server and then just handed them $100 for their silence.
No, I mean,
a mood.
Like, okay, so I'm not handling this well because I'm not
that's
handling it well,
and
I'm totally just going with that as a character thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're
this,
flustered. I like that a lot.
Watching this, Stella's taking psychic damage just this whole time.
But as I it's like a pet peeve of mine in PBTA games in general. 6- I don't think should be called a fail, right? It's just I have more narrative control than you do right now. So your goal was to get her to turn around and talk to you, right?
Mm-hmm. I was just trying to help. Always goes so well.
Can I get you something?
No, I think I probably had enough, but I just didn't want my friend to run you over.
Okay.
My bad.
Well, I'm gonna deliver these drinks if that's okay.
Sure. Is that you? Oh, okay. I'm gonna look over and finally notice that like Lee is the one sitting at that booth.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, oh, hey. Well, that's super awkward. We're going to the same table.
Yep. And Lee, when so from your point of view, the two of you were talking. Rosalinda ran over your spell and kind of just like snapped you back to one focus, and you're now having engaged with Tag, and as you kind of replay it back in your divine intellect, you've agreed that you probably would be interested in this like financial plan that he's putting together for people, and like he's definitely gonna do a Bernie Madoff, but like you've agreed to like participate.
As long as I haven't agreed to, sell LuLaRoe leggings or anything.
No, I don't know what that is, but no. So I can see that some people know what that means, and I'm glad. So you're having this back and forth, and then Tag looks up, clearly expecting the server to be here, but Rosalinda rushes up to the table. And Tag's like not annoyed, but is just like, wow, there's a lot of person here. Because Rosalind is physically big, right? Like, yeah. Okay. So what does Rosalinda say when she comes up?
Hug.
Like hug him in the booth?
Yeah. I was
That's
like, oh my
extremely
gosh.
awkward.
Yes. Leah, I thought you were gone forever. She knows, like, but she's spluttering. I thought you hate me. I hope.
Do you
Don't hate
already
me.
have say something awkward marked?
Yes. Oh, well, no, I did not for this
Yeah,
session.
please
no.
mark
Oh,
that
I forgot that I
immediately.
cast a spell. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yay, that's a thing. Yes.
Mhm,
Yay,
mhm.
Thread. I thought you're back. When were you going to tell us you're back?
Hey,
I
I-
missed you.
And Tag is like kind of delighted by the spectacle of this, and is like waiting to see, like, are you gonna introduce? He has that face of like, are you gonna introduce us?
yeah.
Or
Once we can get a word in, because
Mhm.
I get the feeling Rosalinda's being a bit,
Blubbering.
a little bit.
Mhm.
No, I just got back today. I hadn't really got the chance. I talked to Stella. That's how I found out you all were here. Oh, Tag, this is my friend Rosalinda. She runs
Oh,
some kind of internet situation.
cool. I love the internet. You should join us. And like Tag scoots over so you could sit with him on his side of the booth.
Can I scoot? Can I, like, no, I stay next to Lee and say, no,
You
can
have to
I
like
wanna-
shove him into the booth to do that.
I shove Lee
Okay.
against to the booth.
Lee, would you like to roll prowess to resist?
No, because I don't want to cause a scene.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't want to upset Rosalinda because I know last time I was here, I upset her.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, this is not what I meant by help.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Rosalinda sits down. You hear a familiar voice snap the word server, which, like, the music doesn't stop because it's all, like, live DJ mixing something horrible. I forget what we said last time.
It was Skrillex covers of something. that
Yeah.
was upsetting.
Like Carpenter songs or something.
Ah,
Whatever it was.
Whatever it was terrible.
Skrillex covering letters to Cleo.
Oh, God.
it's difficult to hear.
You hear this, like several people turn and look like they're a little surprised or curious or like, ooh, a fight. Like, they're like lots of expressions and then like nothing happens and everyone just goes back to their conversations because it's so loud they can't hear what Trey and the server are talking about at that point. But you do see Trey with Stella in tow talking to the waitress for some reason. And you're here with Rosalinda has now pinned you into the booth, and Tag is describing how he knows you, Lee. He's telling Rosalinda about how you were the one who got away and how you two really had something going, but it didn't work out. And it's just lucky we're still friends. And Rosalinda, are you interested in this story, or are you like, what's your?
She starts engaging, saying, "Oh my gosh, Lee's the best friend ever. He's always able to say the right thing for me about at the right time and help me be the best me." And then I get distracted when I hear Trey say server. I'm like,
Lee
oh,
is now
there's-
slightly concerned that his portal brought him to a parallel universe. Because none of this makes sense.
and then it reminds her, it's like, oh, Lee, we need to go see Simon with Stella.
Yeah, that's the reason I was here. I mean, Tag, you understand when you accidentally run into somebody at a club
Wait,
who's an ex.
Simon who? And he says, so what's the guy who judges the singing competition?
Simon
Yeah,
Cowell.
he thinks you're talking about Simon. He's like, is Simon Cowell here tonight? I didn't see him tweet about it.
No, a friend of ours is here apparently with her ex, and that's never a good sign. Yeah, so I was here just making sure that she's okay and making good choices.
Literally standing right next to me.
Well, okay, so what happens then, so Trey, after you like apologize and hand some money and there's that little back and forth, the server is trying to turn and deliver these drinks ahead of you. Like you would have to like do an end run to get between her and the booth before she gets there. I mean, it's up to you what you want to try to do.
It's fine.
Okay.
FYI, I took Unstoppable.
Okay. That is not a gentle move, but
No, I had to take it. You wanted to know what I was taking.
Yep.
I decided to take Unstoppable because apparently my mouth likes to run away with me, so why not my body as well?
Yeah. I like it. It feels like it's on theme. I also like careful, methodical, tactical Trey just deciding to choose violence. Like just fuck it. And just like lowering a shoulder and going for it.
Sometimes the most important thing is just to know where that exact point of weakness is.
Yeah.
So you can apply pressure to it.
Yep.
Do you feel like
And sometimes that is a physical point of weakness.
as you're barreling through these people, it's just this poor flapping oracle behind you?
Yep.
Squishy, squishy, squishy.
And we just like, it's so funny because like Rosalinda has created this wake for us to move through.
Yep.
And then I created like a slightly larger one with my massive social gaffe that luckily is mostly drowned out by the awful, awful music.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just here witnessing.
But
Drowned
yes,
is the right term with this music.
I am gonna do that thing where like I
Oh, Skrillex sea shanties.
Oh,
That's worse.
everything is worse now.
I got there. Yep.
thank you.
Okay.
I do that
Most
thing with the
sarcastic way as
server where
possible.
it's like I wait for her like and we go and we kind of like it's that weird dance situation.
Okay. So finally she
And-
just like turns her shoulder to you and goes to the table. And comes up and then is like surprised to see Rosalinda. It was like, "Oh, great. I'll get your drink order in a minute." And like sets 3 shot glasses down in front of Tag and 3 in front of Lee. And gets out the lighter and lights the like last 2 that you know like in the order of the drink. So she sets those up and then turns to Rosalinda like, and what can I get for you? And Tag makes a point of reaching out. He's like, it's on me. Don't worry about it.
I'll take his shots. I'll take Lee's shots.
Oh, I mean,
Just
look,
start
we'll get 3 more. We'll get 3 more. It's totally cool.
Lee
Well,
can't take it. I'll take him.
oh, he could. I've had a lot to drink with this guy. Trust me. We've been through some shit, right, Lee?
Not now.
Uh-huh.
We're actually
Scrolling through the chat in his backlog, like, where did I... Damn it, there it is. God. Ugh.
Find and replace. Find and replace. You want to try and change the past, Lee? I bet you could do a spell about it.
No. I think Lee at this point, again, is trying to make as few waves as possible.
Okay.
So he's trying to find a way to gracefully make his exit. And if that means he has to take these shots to do so, and then politely make his way to the bathroom and get rid of said shots, then that is something that he may have to do at some point.
Sure.
But he does not want to cause a commotion. His friends are already taking care of that.
So are we making, or was it already canon that Lee is a lightweight when it comes to drinking?
No, and I just think that he doesn't drink a lot.
Oh, okay. He doesn't like it. Yeah.
Well, he does, but just it doesn't. Shots are definitely not something he will do.
Okay.
He will like have a finger of scotch. He'll have wine. Wine is a big one.
Mhm.
Like when he was working, wine was great.
Yep.
But doing shots of what I can only imagine are shots of amaretto with a 151 floater
Sure.
that are now being lit on fire.
Yeah, whatever the 3 worst shots you personally can think of, and then one that you would light on fire is, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because there's a shot that I did in college called a Flaming Dr. Pepper shot, which I don't remember what was in the shot. There was a floater of 151 rum that you lit on fire. You blew it out and took it, and it actually did taste like Dr. Pepper, and also got you fucked up.
That's probably it. That sounds horrible.
Mhm.
So
And then there's the cement mixer.
well, what's that?
Oh yeah.
No,
It's a
that's
thing.
Bailey's.
There's some egg whites involved. It's a whole thing.
It's
But I'm assuming
Bailey's
that's one of
and
them.
lime juice, and it's a bad idea. It curdles in your mouth. The Flaming Dr. Pepper is beer and amaretto.
That's what it was. Yeah.
All right.
Float of 151.
All right. So, the server has dropped these things off, lit the shots. Rosalinda is just reaching for Lee's shots.
Mm-hmm.
And the server like kind of does a quick glance to Tag, and he's not like countermanding anything, you know, like Rosalinda takes the shots, Lee is fine with her taking the shots. And I assume, Lee, you're saying like that's fine. Like
Yeah, he'll run interference. Like it's it's cool. I'll I just got off a flight, so doing heavy shots may not be the best idea, but thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
all right. So he seems hurt, right? But and you see
you know what? Oh, how about this? And he'll take one of the shots back from Rosalinda and do the one shot as like
the first one that you would yeah, and then Rosalinda gets shot 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay, Lee, roll sway someone without the disadvantage, without the disfavor.
Okay. No, I don't like these dice anymore. I don't trust them.
You only have disfavor against like normal humans.
What do you
Flashbacks?
Cute.
Tag is a
Cute.
monster.
Oh, I see. That is a 7.
Okay. Yeah. So, you mollify him. Like, this is a price that he's willing to accept, is this compromise. And you see the server, like, before anything else can be said, just like, as you're shooting, she dips, right? Like, whoop. And right as Trey and Stella get to the table as well. Like, you put down the shots, and the server turned into Trey. As far as you could tell. Rosalinda,
But
maybe
you
it was
hate
Trey all
shots.
along.
She's confused. Rosalinda's confused. But she says to Lee, but you hate shots.
Yeah, but I turning over a new leaf.
Yeah, right, man. I mean, you gotta like find something to believe in, and you just follow it no matter what. You don't let anyone squash your dreams. You just set a goal and never give up and never listen to what anyone else has to say. That's the way to do it.
Oh,
I wrote that passage in The Secret.
I see why y'all get along so well. It was
I
real
can get
sweet of
us
you to
out of
order
this.
drinks for all of us already. And I am going to take one of Tag's shots.
Oh, okay. So now Tag assumes you're flirting with him, right? Like his whole demeanor is like, oh, hey. I'm not going to do a lot of that because he's yucky to me and I don't want to perceive it firsthand. We'll just have it in the mind. But Tag is like openly hitting on you, Trey, as he's like, trying to like clink glasses with you, the shot glasses with you. And
Oh, at this point, I take the shot glass that he's holding up to clink with me, and I'm like, oh, sweet, thanks. And I give it to Stella.
okay.
It's like,
I know
So-
this mode, and I can deal with this. I can get us out of this
Okay.
if you let me.
I'm not stopping you.
As soon as Stella, who's watched a lot of this go down and is like, sometimes in her visions, she's just like a helpless, bystander watching all of this happen, but she knows
Yeah,
in
like
the
in a
future she'll
dream.
see it. Yeah, like you can see it and stop it when she's having a vision. This is actually happening, and she's just here for the ride. She's like, oh, this is real life. Shit, I should do something about this.
Yeah, I think your perception is now caught up and resynced, and yeah.
She's resynchronized.
Yeah, you just followed yourself out of the bathroom. You're
Yeah.
like, wait. Oh, god damn it, they're so fast.
They're so fast. My body, wait, come back. So Stella takes the shot in one hand and leans over to touch Tag's arm.
Oh yeah, he's super into that because he thinks this whole thing is about everyone at the table flirting with him.
Oh hell yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's just like immediate surface thought. Like you don't even need telepathy to know that. Like he's like, oh, this guy's gonna be great.
And she does the thing, the very practiced move of like when you lean forward so that like the cowl neck in your shirt just like drops. And then I'd like to use black hole stun.
Okay.
Which is supposed to be for getting information, but I really kind of just want him to pass out.
Okay. Well, that is all three options are going to result in that. So this is a good tool for the job.
Yes.
But yeah, let's roll 2d6 plus awe.
All right, let's do this. What's my awe like?
Aw.
I don't think my awe is just at a 1 because I didn't want her to be believable. That is a 4 and a 3 though, so that's a 8. So
Okay.
it's barely into a success.
So his eyes go wide. And what is it like when you stun someone, right? Like I imagine some people, their eyes go black or white or starry or whatever. Like I imagine there's like a visual effect that most mortals will ignore, but you know, all four of you would recognize that Stella just did something.
It's a snap. It like pops up like a Snapchat filter over his face. There's just a glaze of in this case, there's just like it kind of flickers on, and it looks like it's like kind of starry, and the eye that you sometimes see when Stella uses her ability blinks once over his face because black hole stun overwhelms a mortal's mind with the infinite vastness of the stellar background, assuring honest answers. It's instant information, but this is not for that purpose. So yeah, he just gets the Snapchat filter. He gets a peek into what Stella's life is like all the time. And I feel like to her, this place is so fucking crowded because it's humans and ghosts.
Yeah.
And also everything else demi-planar on this, like.
Sure.
But yeah, so he just sees what she sees for like a second.
Okay. He's overwhelmed. He was already a little drunk. Remember, like I think we said like 4 drinks in, something like that, which for him is a little drunk. And he like his eyes go wide and glazy. This filter comes over his face that all of you can see. Like, oh yeah, we know what's happening here. And his head like rocks back, and he's like, "Oh, we're all gonna have the best time tonight." And like he just like repeats that a couple times, and then starts mumbling it, and his head like thunks back against the thing. He's not unconscious though, and if you want to ask him a question, you can.
I think. Well, my something's popping in from my background. I think part of it is Stella just goes, cheers, and like makes him take the shot before he passes out. Do we have all right, well, my bed's just here now.
All of his shots were taken away, I think.
Oh, I thought he had one left.
No, they were all taken away, but it's fine. What do you want to ask him?
I think she just goes, so how do you know Simon? It's not even like as a shot in the dark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, out loud for everyone to hear, he says, and we all know this is the voice that happens when Stella commands an answer to a question, right? And he says, Lee is the love of my life if I was capable of loving someone more than myself.
Very confusing. Like Stella looks at Lee and goes, I'm so sorry, as he passes out.
Wait. Just so we're clear, she asked about Simon.
Oh yeah. I said, how do you know Simon?
He doesn't.
I will take that answer though. That's excellent.
Yeah,
What a
he,
weird
like,
misfire.
I love it. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that we were all on the same page, that it was...
Yeah, no, he kind of waves that away because he doesn't know Simon. So you
Yeah.
confirm, 100% as a fact, he doesn't know Simon Simmons.
He does, however, love Lee.
Yes. Well, if he could love Lee more than he loves himself,
Accurate.
then was his statement that he was also aware of somewhere in his mind.
Somewhere in his mind. But yeah, Stella just looks at Lee like, I am so sorry.
This must be what Narcissus feels like.
Lee, is it unfair if I ask you to roll Take a Powerful Blow?
No. that is not unfair.
Grievous harm. Sorry, this masks.
Take harm.
Roll for grievous harm, just +0 because you didn't actually take wounds. And remember to roll low.
Right. Where are those dice that screwed me over earlier today? You bastards!
They decided to screw you over again.
They did. That's a 9. So not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, that's not the worst. Okay, so you get to pick it, though. It's drop something important, lose your footing. One of your gifts is unusable for the rest of this scene, which will be the whole time we're in the bar for right now. Take 1 more harm, so that would be 1 harm, ignoring armor, or wind up in a tight spot. I'm gonna nix the tight spot option.
Yeah. Because I just want to see what you do with it, and I'm like doing apparently harm to my character. I'm gonna drop something important.
Okay. What are you carrying on you? Or, well, I mean, do you
My
imagine...
intention is some way for him to get in contact with me, or a reason for him to try to get in contact with me again.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's great.
You're welcome. Future me, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where we're at.
Just a plague of fuckboys this entire game.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I think happens is, you're in this like psychic backlash, and you magically like physically clone your phone, because you would like set it on the seat next to you, and you go to pick it up, and you just leave a copy of it behind.
Yeah.
Your magic like generated this phone that all of you are gonna ignore, because you didn't see it. So, that's what gets left behind.
Yeah. It's a collection of fuckboys known as a frat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or a frack.
It's a frack. Stella like kind of wipes some mascara from under her eyes and just looks at everyone. It's like, we can go now. Like,
Cute.
he'll be out for a while, I think. Like, checks an eye. He's alive.
Okay.
A Bitcoin of
That's
fuckboys. Oh
correct.
no.
DLC,
That
you are
is-
so correct.
Oh my god.
Please
Oh,
take
bless.
a thread DLC. That is very good.
So true.
Buying NFTs left and right. I hate it.
How have I not made an exclamation thread command in my chat?
Right?
What's wrong with me? I know how.
That's the whole theme.
All right. So we have to wrap up here pretty soon. But what was I looking for? Oh yeah. Also, I think I'm gonna, my propensity, like I really love the like flashbacks and review and rehash of what happened last time, but I think I have to like pull back my impulse on that a little bit, because we spend so much time rehashing last time. And I want to get more done. Okay, so the 4 of you have this booth to yourselves essentially right now. Tag has left the building and is sitting next to you, but
Somehow Stella like moves his arm off of her shoulder, like puts it
Right.
down. I don't know how it got there, but that's where it is now. He tagged out.
So,
yep.
what are we doing here? Are you really interested in seeing Simon again? Like, do you not remember what Simon did last time we saw Simon?
Say that name one more time, I fucking swear. No, it's I think I'm trying to remember why we're here, both in and out of character. Because there's been a lot that's happened.
Well, I think, Stella, you had initiated wanting to track him down
Yeah.
for later, and to do so would be to get something of his. And so
Oh shit, that's what it was.
the goal was to come here and get something of his, which is not just going to be like a napkin that he used. It has to be something that he cares about.
It's not like I haven't done this before. I want to see. I think he's up to no good. I just need to get something of his. And like,
Yeah, because you want to be able to track him back to wherever else he's going.
Yeah, and Stella looks like when a dog has been through the trash. Just like
guilty?
I just need to get something of his. If I'm not looking at Lee, he can't judge me.
Okay. It's Lee's eye contact that
it's kind of like, yeah, because I think they all know like Stella's like tragic backstory. And so it's like, because she's pretty vocal about fucking hating the celebrants and stuff. Like, so they know why.
Lee, I forget, did you have an advancement during our downtime?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I thought something was happening with that, but
No,
fine.
I advanced right before I left, and that's when I added a +1 to my weird to make it a +3.
Okay.
Now I'm real weird.
Now, I will say a lot of your magic, unless you consciously push back against the effect, is coming with these like yellow orangey light tracers, whereas before I think it was a little more reddish.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely more fire like based, and that's why I think it played into a bit more of using light, because that's one of Apollo's domains is light.
Yep. Among like half a dozen other things.
Yeah. He's got a long resume.
Yeah.
Stella squints.
I love him.
Just like squints at Lee and is like, you look different, and then like keeps going. But yeah.
All right, so we're here to get something of Simon. Why don't we just find him and take something from him?
Well,
He's
upstairs. We had to save your ass. Also, there are ghosts, but
Okay, way to bury the lead.
I mean, there are ghosts everywhere if you think about it. It's an old city.
I mean, it's an old planet, I guess. Technically, there would be ghosts like everywhere.
I thought it was pretty funny when I said way to bury the lead about the ghosts and nobody laughed.
Yeah. I was with you. I didn't want to interrupt.
I mean, not to.
No, that was in character.
Oh, sorry.
I know you just
that was
got back,
absolutely
but,
Lee in character.
I mean, didn't want to embarrass you. Thought we'd just let it pass.
I didn't get it. That's okay.
Rosalinda.
So the four of you are sitting there with X-Tag. I mean, he's not dead. He's just lulled over a little bit.
He's also upstairs.
And actually, to avoid suspicion, like Tag's eyes are open, and he's just, it kind of looks like he's just put his head back to, like he's thinking about the next thing he's gonna say, and he's real drunk, so it's gonna take a minute. Is what he looked like. His expression is that. And by the time he looks up, you're all gonna be gone. So he's like, and then another thing, what? But I need Stella to roll one die and Lee to roll another one.
Oh no!
Why?
It just makes sense in my head.
Oh, okay. Don't fuck me, Lee.
Well, I got a 3, so
I got a 5.
Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna apply a +2 to this. So both of you have a slight premonition before this happens, so you don't have to be entirely shocked. But it's not enough. Well, no, at 10+, you have enough time to warn Treyi and Rosalinda as well. But it's up to you, because what you know is about to happen is Lee, a ghost, Stella, the ghost, is about to come up from under the seat and like be in the back of the booth between Rosalinda and Tag, and like is about to rise up through the seat from under the floor.
Like a haunted mansion, and it's haunted mansion.
You know, if they had laughed when I said buried the lead, I might have warned them.
Okay.
I think, is this one of those times where Stella says like ghost and like no one fucking cares because this is her all the time. This is Kat staring in the corner moment again.
Okay. And so the Stella and Trey, did either of you like slip into the booth while we were sort of talking to figure stuff out? Like, because you could just shove Tag down the line. Like,
I was sitting next to Lee.
Yeah.
Stella took the other side of Tag so she could get close enough to stun him.
Okay. And Trey, are you standing at the edge of the table, or did you sit down too?
Yeah, I think I'll do the lean next to Stella.
Yeah,
since
okay.
I was on that side taking shots.
Yeah, at the opening of the booth there.
It's a very crowded booth at this point. Like, I don't care how big they are. Also, that velvet feels real weird.
Yep. It
Why is it
drags at
sticky?
your clothes when you try to slide across it. It's
Real bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Friday.
So, yeah, I mean, technically you could sit 6 adults at this table. That would be 6 adults shoulder to shoulder, right? So not great. But the 4 of, we've kind of got Lee and Rosalinda on the right, Rosalinda at the edge of the table, Lee shoved into the booth. On the left, facing the booth, Tag has been shoved down into the booth. Not down, but like further down the bench. Stella slipped into the seat next to him. Trey standing, leaning against the booth next to Stella, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in the crux of the booth between Tag and Lee, this very classic, like semi-translucent white ghost comes up through the floor, and it's this like clearly I'd say from the hairstyle, either this is somebody who is cosplaying a 1920s rum runner, or is a ghost from the Prohibition era, and is this woman maybe in her 20s, and she like comes up out of the floor, and she's saying something, but it's hard to even see her mouth to read her lips, but there's no sound coming out, but she's reaching out to Lee and Tag, because he's the closest one to her, and is like doing that, and we have to roll credits.
Oh man.
So we will return with our ghost next week, and decidedly fewer recaps.
Well,
And,
we had recaps, we had time passes, we had to. Yeah,
that's true.
We have
And,
maintenance to do.
and I didn't get us started on time, so yep. Okay, well, it seems like the captions went generally okay. They're not always correctly labeled for who is speaking it, but I
But
feel
for
like
the
it's,
most part, at least the words were correct.
yeah, it's more better than what we had before. So, well, we'll go with that. So let's go reverse order. Clara, where should the people look for your things?
Oh my God. Hi, I'm Clara. You can find me all over the internet as clearly_golden, unless you're into mermaids, or even if you're into mermaids, in which case you can find me on Instagram as mermaid_clarity. Sundays I'm here, except for next week, playing Demigods. Mondays I'm over on Happy Jack's RPG podcast playing, what the fuck is that character's name? Oh my God, I just blanked on the character name. Playing Irsa, who is a bruiser in our Traveler-esque game. And then otherwise, I pop in on other people's streams all the freaking time. So if you follow me on Twitter, that is the best place to figure out what I'm up to. There's no, what's it called? There's no Purgatory Cafe this month because we're all getting ready for LARP. That's it. That's me. I'm gonna kick it over to who was reverse? I'm gonna kick
I
it
was
over
muted. Pooja.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello, I'm Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at LADaisy That's LADESI Girl. And pretty much all the other socials is Forgotten Saves. I also play RPGs on 12-Sided Stories, an actual play podcast. And, you know, dipping my toe into GMing over there. And you can also find me on Happy Jacks occasionally and throughout the back catalog. And coming up, if you want to hear kind of a South Asian take on Bluebeard's Bride, gothic horror, I will be on Utopia.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet.
I have to admit, I wanted to listen to the horror episode on 12-Sided Stories. And
I barely could listen to it, and I played it.
I had to nope out. Like, I really wanted to hear everyone's performances, and I just could. It was so scary, which is a recommendation for people who love that kind of stuff. But I could not. However, Brindlewood Bay, GM'd by Pooja, like, I always knew Pooja would be a good GM, but she's fucking amazing. And how dare you for not having listened to it already? Really? Also, how dare you, Pooja? Honestly.
She just leveled up into it. She's
No, I
figuring
mean,
it out. Yeah.
it's very good, but even just like the way she prompts and keeps everything rolling, I'm like fucking taking notes over here. So,
This is lies. This is like the magic of Wes editing. I want him to send me the clip that's just an outtake of me trying to say Brindlewood Bay. When we like went back for the second episode, it took me 6 tries.
I love it. I love that.
Wow.
What were some of the versions? Like, what was coming out of your mouth?
One of them was like Bluebeard's Bay, and then a bunch of like Brindlewood's Bride. There were just a bunch of different like iterations. Then it was like Brindlewood, Bray. I just kept tripping over it.
Fantastic.
It was real fun.
I love it. All right, Minerva, what have you been up to?
All right. Hey guys, I am Minerva. You can find me on the social medias at blue_troller. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I stream on Twitch to do the artsy stuff. And I am a very active RPG listener, and I do actively listen to Happy Jack's RPG podcast, 12-Sided Stories, and now Utopia, because now I want to listen to Bluebeard's Bride, Southeast Asian version, and get scared and get grossed out and love it. So yes.
I desperately need to see it now, or listen to it now.
Enjoy. Joey.
Hey y'all, I'm Joey. You can find me on all the socials at Feywild85, FEYWILDE85. Like Clara, I will be on Happy Jacks every Monday. Also, like Jason, because he's the one running that game, playing the exact opposite of this character with questionable makeup choices.
Yeah, like in every way that I can think of, every substantial. Yeah.
It's part of the like. When you stream a lot, you try to diversify your characters, or at least I do.
Yeah.
Which is why Yrsa and Stella are polar opposites as well.
Yeah, I try to play a different robot boy every time I join a game. You know.
Yes.
It's a lot of variation to choose from.
Now, with Traveler, I did try to let the dice do their own thing, but clearly my dice chose violins.
They chose violins.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I don't think Jason's ever been a robot boy in a game I've played.
No.
Oh,
never.
that you've been in.
That you
I've been in. You've been a robot these last couple games.
Yeah, well, see, but like you said, I try not to do it. Like, I actively try not to do it every time. So
I have yet to stab a boat.
Yeah, we'll take care of that.
Yeah, but that's where you'll find me, especially in the next couple of months, because I'm going to disappear into Caroling World and not see anybody until January, which is super fun for me.
Do I know that about the Sundays?
No.
Okay.
Sundays are fine. I just mean seeing other people socially.
Right, okay.
And not already scheduled things.
Very good. Okay.
You see people?
Not really.
So,
Never.
folks, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. And you can check out Demigods on demigodspbta.com and download the free quick start guide there, and the book coming soon. So there's lots of stuff to check out. Dang it, there was one other thing I was going to say, and it just flew out of my head. So it's probably not that important. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to send us on over to our friends at Q Times, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.